acting, you have to completely discard your opinion and totally open yourself up to the emotional comprehension of someone else's plight, no matter how despicable or foolish it may be to you. There's no such thing as a foolish point of view as an actor. There are places you may not want to go. There are things like for me, it's like, because I learned how to take my mind so deeply into the thoughts and feelings of other people to play a character, I don't want to play a pedophile. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to understand that.
No.
Right? Even like a film like Django, you know, I was going to do Django.
You were?
Yeah, I was, you know, Quentin and I, you know, we met and I was really close on Django. And
I hated that movie. I'm so glad you didn't do that. I didn't do that. Sure. I hated Django. I have a whole think piece, Will. Sorry for this. I interrupted.
No, this is good. This is what we're doing.
Wait, with an opinion after you just told me my opinion. But listen, Django, I don't write think pieces about movies. I was so mad at that movie. I want to know why you did do it though. I have to.
No, we can definitely talk about that. For me, first off, it was Willow. So I sat the family down because of the psychological space I was going to have to live in to comprehend those atrocities. Mm-hmm. Willow was like, you know, Daddy, please don't. Like, wow. Daddy, please don't, because she knew what the time around the house would be if I was living in that psychological space. Wow. And she was like, she was like, Daddy, please don't. I don't want to live like that.
She's like, I'm good.
So then I would have had to separate myself and sequester myself from the family to transform my mind in that way. And then ultimately, so why I didn't do it, and Quentin and I were talking about it, and I saw Django as it could have been the greatest Black love story in history. Mm-hmm. It could have been the greatest Black love story in history. Somebody takes his wife and he trains himself to go and retrieve his wife through the atrocities of slavery. I was like, that is set up to be the greatest love story in the history of African-American cinema.
Yeah.
And Quentin saw it as a vengeance story.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, my heart doesn't live in vengeance in that way, right? You can take vengeance, but you take vengeance for love, right? And, you know, it's just, to me, it was too critical a story to make for vengeance. You got to make it for love. The final moment of that movie has to feel like Titanic.
Yeah. Dang, you know? I was just about to say, like, I definitely didn't get that. So now I appreciate the fact that you're like, this was my perception of how things could have went. Yeah. And it is so interesting to see, like, I'm sure there are a lot of times where someone either auditions for a role or they're asked to do a role, and their creative mind about how the actor should be portrayed is very different from what the director or the screenwriter thinks. Have you ever, besides Django, have you ever not taken a role because of, like, we just not aligned on?
Well, yeah, most of the things I say no to is because I'm not aligned with the filmmaker. You know, there are certain there's certain beliefs, and there's a mission that I have in the world that I want my work to be a part of. Right. So as I'm getting older, I'm sort of expanding the spectrum of things that I will do, because everything has its place. Right. So I may move a little farther as I'm becoming more conscious of my beliefs and constructs, and I'm becoming more conscious of the character of Will Smith that I've created. It's starting to become interesting to me to how far can I expand outside of the boundaries and limits that I've given myself. And being an actor is a great way to just to really explore those shadows